Today, let's take a detailed look at probably one of the most innovative Chevrolet products to come out of the early 90s, the 1994 Chevrolet Corvette ZR-1. And this is going to be a detailed, in-depth review of the ZR-1. We'll start it up, show the engine, get an exhaust clip, and go over the performance data, and show you a bunch of the unique aspects of the interior as well as exterior. And I'd like to give a big thanks and special shout out to Lamborghini Carolinas, located in Greensboro, North Carolina, for allowing me to come out and film the quite rare 1994 Chevrolet Corvette ZR-1. And so, without further ado, let's get started up, let her run. The exterior color is very unique and known as Admiral Blue Metallic. Only 448 ZR1s were produced for 1994. Of that amount, 44 came in Admiral Blue, and only 11 came paired with this interior color, the light dove gray leather with black accenting. Beautiful sound. The Corvette ZR-1, otherwise known as the King of the Hill for General Motors in the early 90s, is by far one of the most technologically advanced products to come out during that time period. It featured a Lotus-designed 32-valve dual-overhead cam V8. It was built by Mercury Marine and then sent to the vehicle's production plant in Bowling Green, Kentucky. It featured rack and pinion power assist steering and a thick, leather-wrapped steering wheel. To make sure all that power was utilized properly, the ZR-1 also comes standard with a driver-adjustable damper system for tour, sport, and performance modes. And as far as the gearbox, a standard 6-speed manual with clean, smooth shifts, pull up, over, down for reverse, all wrapped in a leather shift knob traced into a leather shift boot. There's also a little valet key built into the dash for the engine power. If you switch it over to normal, it'll limit the vehicle's total horsepower output to about 250 brake horsepower. If you turn it over to full, it'll unleash the full ZR-1 potential at around 405 horsepower or so. And so we're going to flip on the headlamps, fog lamps, as well as the hazards. Both the windows are full power. Then we're going to check out the exterior, shall we? Many of us are familiar with the latest reintroduction to the famed ZR-1 Corvette for the C6 generation with its potent LS9 supercharged V8 and 638 horses. In fact, it's actually the third generation of the ZR-1 nameplate that dates back to 1970. Originally a limited 2-year production run of the Stingray, it featured a tuned and tweaked version of Chevrolet's LT1 pushrod small block V8 and produced around 370 horsepower. While there are big differences between the two, neither are quite like the C4 ZR-1 produced from 1990 to 1995. For its day, it was the most innovative Corvette to date, as well as one of the most expensive. In 1986, the Corvette development team approached Lotus Engineering, a UK automotive manufacturing and consulting firm, which at the time was a GM subsidiary, with the idea of building one of the fastest road cars of its time. The partnership resulted in a high-performance, strong-handling, limited production run of the C4 generation Corvette that could run right alongside supercars and exotics, costing double and triple that of a Corvette. At the heart of this was a Lotus-designed V8 and suspension that launched it into the stratosphere. Its sophistication and engineering over the C3 already gave it a great starting point by weighing 250 pounds less, having a central backbone, rear-mounted transaxle, and transverse leaf spring suspension. The ZR-1 featured unique 17-inch painted aluminum alloy wheels wrapped in Goodyear Eagle GSC tires measuring 275/40 in front and a wide 315/35 tires in the rear. Braking is provided by internally ventilated discs on all four wheels with standard anti-lock brakes that can bring the car to a stop from 60 miles an hour in a very short 105 feet. As far as the suspension, the ZR-1 features a unique Lotus-engineered adjustable FX3 suspension called Active Ride Control that featured 3 different modes that fully took advantage of the increased power. It consisted of fully independent double wishbones in front and a multi-link rear suspension with tubular shock absorbers and anti-roll bars. After years of development and testing, the ZR-1 first made its appearance in 1990. The body is fiberglass with an aluminum tube space frame and featured all-new styling that gave it a unique, fresh look versus the rest of the lineup. The rear bodywork was widened by 3 inches and lengthened by about an inch, with wider doors, 11-inch rear tires, rectangular exhaust outlets, and different rounded square tail lamps. These styling cues would then translate to the rest of the C4s for the 1991 model year. Interestingly enough though, the ZR-1 wasn't technically a separate model, but an optional performance package costing just over $27,000, which nearly doubled the price of a typical C4. The heart of this performance package was the Lotus-engineered V8, dubbed the LT5. It replaced the standard 350 cubic inch pushrod L98. The transmission was a standard ZF 6-speed manual. And aside from sharing the same bore centers and displacement, it was an all-new engine that featured an innovative 4-camshaft design and 4 valves per cylinder. One of the more innovative features, though, was the car's unique air management system, which allowed the engine to shut off 8 of the 16 fuel injectors. Under normal driving conditions, the car would run with 8 injectors and reduced horsepower. Hit the pedal and all 16 open up to unleash the full potential. This can be manually dialed in as well via the switch on the dash like I mentioned earlier, whether you wanted 8 deactivated or fully open all the time. Overall length is 178.5 inches with a width of 73.1 inches and a height of 46.3 inches. Total curb weight is right around 3,512 pounds. I'm going to pop the hood. Performance comes from the innovative 5.7-liter, 350 cubic inch LT5 V8 featuring 4 camshafts and 32 valves. Originally producing 375 horsepower and 370 pound-feet of torque in 1990, Lotus redesigned the cylinder heads and valve train in 1993 to boost the power to 405 horses at 5,800 RPM and 385 pound-feet of torque at 5,200 RPM. This was historical in itself, as the ZR-1 then became the first domestic car to have 400-plus horsepower since the post-smog control era. This translated to a 0 to 60 time of 4.6 seconds, with some reports as low as 4.2 seconds. Quarter-mile times were an average of 13.1 seconds at 112 miles per hour. Top speed was upwards of 180 miles per hour. As far as fuel economy, with a 20-gallon fuel tank on premium unleaded gas, expect around 15 city, 23 highway. The interior of the ZR-1 is pretty much standard C4 and features reasonable build quality for the day. Available in a variety of color combinations including red, tan, black, and gray. It can be made to be as unique as the buyer wanted and came with just about every amenity offered for the Corvette. The door panels, dash, and other areas have a bit of soft touch materials on them where it mattered the most, and also had all of the standard power accessories including doors, windows, and locks. Over the years since the 1990 ZR-1, the seats have been restyled and resculpted but retain the same overall design with heavy side bolstering. They're fully powered but with manual recline and power adjustment for the upper and lower bolsterings. The controls are located on the center console, while in the older seat design the bolstering adjustment is located on the bolsters themselves. Overall, they hug you in quite tight. Left of the seat is the handbrake, and down below, the carpet flows upward to the lower portion of the dash, which is completely driver focused. Traction control is standard and also features the optional panoramic cargo roof. So let's go ahead and see if she sounds. So we're going to shut her up. The ZR-1 basically came with all of the available Corvette options, including this Delco Bose Gold Series AM/FM radio with in-dash CD player. Illuminated visor, as well as a manually dimming rear view mirror with integrated reading lamps down below. Overall, the interior ergonomics and electronics are pretty good for back in the day, all focused towards the driver in this cockpit style like I mentioned earlier. Up top are your driver information system warning lamps. Right now, the tire pressure monitoring system is illuminated just to let you know you need to balance the tires out for their air pressure. Your trip computer and other driver information controls are located to the left of that, and are located in the little digitalized speedometer cluster. Your fuel info, changing the metric in English, trip computer, and your vehicle diagnostic systems. This is the fresh new sound. Continuing down below that as we go down the center console is your automatic electronic climate control system. Your temperature adjustment, automatic recycling, different zones, front rear defrost, and fan speed and auto fan adjustment. The radio is also really simple. Volume and speed compensated volume up top there, your equalizer settings, preset stations, tune, tape settings, and the integrated tape deck located down below. 2 cup holders and a lighter and power outlet. And down in the back here, along either side of the ride control adjustment, like I mentioned earlier, your power seat adjustment. The seats have manual recline, but all of your power sliding, tilting, and height adjustment are located here for both sides via a little switch right there. Over here are all of your different adjustable lumbar settings, upper, middle, lower back, as well as adjusting the side bolstering to give you some more lateral grip. And they hug you in quite firm, as well as a lockable center console with your trunk release. Your wiper, turn signal, high beam, and cruise control located on that stalk there, and your traction control up above the lighting. Very unique analog and digital gauge cluster with your digital speed and fuel readout in the middle, as well as the driver information system I mentioned earlier, and all of your analog gauges, as a performance vehicle should have. Alrighty. Good, shut her down. We'll check out behind the seat real quick. Your manual recline is located down below there, but if you want to access behind the seat, there's a little toggle switch behind the headrest there that'll allow you to fold it forward. Just a little bit of space. And we're going to check out the rest of the vehicle, shall we? Underneath the rear hatch is over 20 cubic feet of storage space. Quite good for a car of this class. What's also cool is this particular car has the original window sticker and build sheet along with a new copy of the original build sheet. Something you don't always see with a car of this age and adds great historical value. There's also plush carpeting, built-in storage cabinets, and a bit of rear illumination. Still able to have day-to-day practicality. Like I mentioned, it also has all the same power adjustments that you find in the driver's seat located in the center console. And it does lack a conventional glove box. The Corvette ZR-1 is a legend of innovation. With a unique collaboration of engineering, Chevrolet and Lotus created one of the most memorable Corvettes of all time. A true collector item that's always a treat to see in person. Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed the detailed review of the 1994 Chevrolet Corvette ZR-1. Be sure to stay tuned next time. There's a lot more where that came from. Take care everybody.